All right, we're back on. All right, we're back on. Welcome, SacramentoComedy.com people, for looking at this. We're here with Bobby Slayton. How are you? I'm John.
I'm Bobby.
Nice to meet you. Here we go. One of the questions we asked, you know, how, since you've been doing it for a long time, how has comedy changed for the better or worse?
Well, has it changed for better or worse? You know, I was talking to an old friend of mine today, Franklin Ajay, and only real comedy aficionados would know who he is. But in fact, Franklin, I used to open up for him at the Punchline in San Francisco 25 years ago. And he called me about something out of the blue today, about this Lenny Bruce auction thing. And he wanted to be part of it. And I said, well, I'm on my way out the door. I'm going to play the Sacramento Punchline. He didn't even know it was a punchline up. He'd been out of comedy for a while. But he said comedy, he was mentioning to me, he's so right, it's too many people doing it. And it's been diluted as an art form. I think I said that yesterday, if you were listening.
It wasn't in the article.
Huh?
It wasn't. Didn't make it to the article.
I said the same thing that Franklin said to me. So, I mean, and I said, I wasn't sure if I said that, but it's just been diluted so much because there's too many people doing it. And it's not, you know, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. I mean, I find professional sports have been diluted and you know, it's just too many. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not room for other people to do this, but, you know, television, even acting, it's become so diluted that, you know, back in the old days, I think all these great actors would stand out because there weren't as many actors. Now there's so many people doing it. And there's so many great people, but so much more mediocrity. I think stand-up comedy is like, you know, I don't like to talk about it too much. It's like art. You know, you start to dissect it. And you start, you know, you can talk forever. If you talk about God or UFOs, there's no answers, you know? And I hate to sit there analyzing this shit when you're not going to get anywhere with it. And I just think it's changed a lot, comedy, because like I said, the art, as an art form, it's all over the place. It's, you know, it's almost like diamonds. You know, they can mine more diamonds, but they keep them off the market to make them more valuable. Diamonds really are like a dime a dozen. They can be all over the place. And I think that stuff like caviar and truffles, which I happen to love, but I think they would cost the same price as scrambled eggs. Nobody would care. If you diluted down the value of it, and that's what happened to stand-up comedy. But I think what's happened is that they do so many 2-for-1s, and there's so many comedy clubs, and a lot of them have closed up now because of this recession, depression, mortgage meltdown bullshit. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
yeah. I'm sure it doesn't affect SacramentoComedy.com because this is just one of those bulletproof kind of operations that go on forever.
I will,
but what I did when she was little is I turned her on to so many movies and shows and bands and musicals. And she's 21 now, and she loves the Ramones, she loves the Rolling Stones, she knows the Beatles are the best band ever, but she doesn't listen to any of that stuff. She has her own music, but at least I put it in front of her, and she knows that there'd be no Madonna and there'd be no Britney. There'd be no Britney Spears wasn't for Madonna. There'd be no Madonna if it wasn't for a million other people, Janis Joplin, whatever. She knows the roots of music.
Did you do that with comedy as well? Like, I know, like, say...
Yeah, there'd be no comedy if not for Madonna. If it wasn't Madonna, I wouldn't be there. Yes, exactly. This guy's good. What?
But I mean for your child, like being that you're an established comic when you had a young child at home, you know, did you censor a lot for her? No. You just kind of let it go through and just...
Well, you know, I censored. I was actually a very responsible parent, and I censored enough stuff. And she had a bedtime, but I certainly didn't do the crap that my parents did, and 95% of the fucking idiots out there do. Where my parents did, you know, it was a normal job. Gotta go to bed at 8:30. What, Saturday night? I'm 9 years old. You know, and it was like shit that, you know, my parents wouldn't let me do, but it was nothing outrageous. We grew up in some Christian, Muslim, Amish fucking household where people are, you know, no blacks, no gays, no Jews, no this, go to school, the Bible, you know, it's all bullshit. And, you know, I mean, I try to show my daughter that a lot of this stuff doesn't matter. I didn't let her watch my act when she was little. She'd catch bits and pieces, but Steven Spielberg, I remember he said when Jurassic Park came out, he wouldn't let his 8- and 9-year-old kids go see it. You know, so does that make him, you know, he's censoring it, he doesn't think they're ready for it. So people always say to me, you know, you can't let your own daughter see your act. Well, she's not old enough to see it.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's movies that get made and TV shows, and just children aren't. But I did let her see a lot more stuff than most kids her age should see. That's all I can say. You know what's amazing? 30 years of stand-up comedy. 30 years of stand-up. And Showtime just gave me an hour special. Just gave it to me. I think they've run out of people to give it to. I think you're next if you want. Perfect. So you give it to Slayton, we won't. I had done a Showtime, you know, comedy show, and I'd done an HBO, young comedian special, HBO half hour. I've done a bunch of stuff on Showtime. A lot of stuff on Showtime, more than HBO. And I finally got an hour, which is great, which I'll be rehearsing tonight here at the Punchline in Sacramento. It's been very difficult for me to do stuff like this because it was really hard for me. It's when I work. I kind of like to work a little off the cuff and talk to people in the audience and go off on tangents. And what's great about that, I think there's that people have seen me, if they've seen me before, it's always changing. I'm always changing up my stuff. But what's tough for me is I kind of forget, oh God, I wanted to try this bit, I wanted to do that. So I'm forcing myself, and I'm doing it tonight. You're welcome to stay if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah.
These guys have nowhere to go.
Oh.
I'm going to try to work on this hour. And what really is killing me tonight is there's nobody out there. It's a Thursday night in Sacramento. I guess for this place, this is actually a good-sized crowd for Thursday night.
Yeah, for Thursdays.
But, I'm doing the special in 3 weeks. I did 3 CDs. I was really difficult about doing the CDs. It took me 3 or 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. It took me a long time between each CD because I have a hard time, all my material blends into the next, and there's all these little pieces that,
right.
And if you do a CD, you can't do the same stuff on the next CD. So some of the stuff that sets up the new material was on the last CD. Very difficult for me to do that. I'm not very disciplined. I just end up